difficulty right
All right,
now.
I'm
Oh,
Pat.
hey Patrick, I'm Jeffrey. All right, so the difficulty at this moment is the substantiation of how things are going, how bad they are, what sort of units have been involved, number of deaths, etc., like that.
Oh, I don't know. Is there other rumors that we're actually bombing or?
Oh no, this
Oh,
this
okay.
has to do with what the regime has done. There's
I
reports
I saw some bad ones today, man. I don't know if those are true, but
up to.
like 12,000 people
I,
got
was-
fucking
I
hung. It was like, what?
well, I didn't read that. I didn't read that they'd all been hanged. In that, I heard that there were executions,
Yeah.
um, but they weren't necessarily. I mean, a lot of them were shootings and stuff like
A
that
lot of them,
too. Yeah,
and they're not all hangings, but they were actually doing hangings.
yeah. Uh,
So it's like, wow.
so my understanding here is the most recent thing was I believe they just said Trump was told that these had stopped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I don't.
They got cameras on it, man. So if they lie to them, they're gonna know. So
What am I gonna say? I mean, there's more ways to get internet out than just that. So
oh,
it's
dude, we got satellites that can read a fucking license plate
yeah.
from space. So I guarantee you, they've got it. They've got one over Tehran right now, and they can see everything.
So yeah, as far as this all plays out here, I don't. Um, there seems it's a little bit dodgy right now. It's very unfortunate because it looks like some people really got fucking whooped um, in the past couple of days. But to their credit, man, it doesn't look like those people have given up.
They're still rioting.
As
Could be
far
a
as I can
machine
tell,
gun,
man, I
man. I
mean,
don't
this
know.
is
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out, man. Yeah, it was this news on that was kind of spotty today. Oh, yeah. I wasn't really paying too much attention to anything else on the news today, though. But that one, kind of like, all right, are we bombing yet? I don't know. Not yet.
um. Do you think? I guess that's the question here. Do you think that's sort of an inevitability at this point?
I don't know, man. I mean, if they lied to Donald Trump, then probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like that.
Don't let them
No, and
don't let them catch your ass dancing either.
no, exactly, and that's the other. Yeah, exactly. Don't let him do that. Yeah. Um. Yeah. And so I don't know, but I don't know what good it would do. What are you going to bomb? I mean, so like, I guess they probably have military bases and stuff. You'd bomb those. You're not going to bomb the crowd. Yeah.
No,
Right.
no,
So
no,
yeah.
no. And I would suppose that would be it. I would suppose if you were going to do anything, um, I would probably just hit every single military installation that I possibly could at one
They,
time.
they got to know where the Ayatollah is. Just JDM him. So I don't know if that would actually work, but
Well,
they probably have a really good idea where he is.
I don't
I'd be
know.
surprised if they did it.
Yeah, I don't know what their line of succession is to be able to say anything from that. Whether just blowing him up is enough,
Yeah, I don't know either.
or if they're essentially saying like, no, we actually want to bring this fellow in alive. And
You got to tie him up and throw him on the back of your horse. Yeah.
there's that. Or I don't know if this is one of those. Hey,
One steal.
look, we're gonna let you drag this body through the street Mussolini style. It's totally up to you.
I actually watched that video not too long ago. I don't know why.
Just in the mood.
I guess I got
Oh,
linked
yeah.
to it somehow.
Okay.
So. And here's the thing: is so that happens after Italy surrenders. Okay, and so he had actually been out of power for 2 years at that point in time. And then the Germans took over, most of Italy, and then they fought until they surrendered. And then just a few days before Hitler shot himself, Italy surrendered. Okay, and then he got flushed out with a bunch of of his toadies and things like that. And the Allies sent out word to every village in town. They're like, "We want his ass alive." So, and nope, the first time he got recognized, man, some dude just walked up to him, plugged him, and it's in some no name it was like going through like fucking La Junta,
Right.
Colorado.
Yeah, and then my understanding is Anything that could be discharged on that man was discharged on that man.
I mean, well, so they strung him up
Yeah.
after that, but they shot him first. They shot him dead
Mhm.
first, and then they kicked the shit out of the body, and
Yeah.
then they strung him up, and they put him on like some wagons so they could take him around different towns and stuff. It was like that's very Italian, I guess. But anyway, and
I mean, there's something to that.
I guess, man. But I mean, like if you look at bad guys in World War II, he's not too far up the list. I mean, there's about 100 Germans ahead of him.
I was gonna say, like, so this is one of the weird things that again, this uh, YouTube is sort of I don't know how to say it. It's sort of it's I don't want to say it's like playing to the bad side of my brain. I think it does this a little bit to
YouTube?
everyone. But one of the things that it keeps trying to show me is, well, you're interested in these topics here, so I just want to show you this 45-second clip. These two people arguing this point, right? Which
Oh,
is
okay.
fucking pointless, right? Because it's going to be framed of like, watch this dude get destroyed,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Demolishes blah blah blah.
and I'm sitting there listening as these two dweebs are talking about fascism, and well, so I mean, let's go ahead and bring this dweeb into it here. This fucking Mussolini, right? So
Mm. I think the guy who invented it.
I mean, that's the common consensus, right? Was there an idea that this had been like brewing a little bit, and he
No,
just kind
no,
of
no. He basically invented it out of whole cloth.
that's what I thought.
So
Yeah,
I mean, well, because it wouldn't have worked. I mean, if he hadn't tried it first, because the whole idea was, like this ancient grievance that the Roman Empire got dismantled when it shouldn't have been, and blah blah blah. And so we're going to restore, the Mediterranean to its glory. That's basically what fascism is, kind of in its politics of grievance.
yeah.
Which is different than communism, but it's there's no form of like fascist utopia. So it's just like it's all about like can we get back to where we were, where we
That's
should have been?
exactly
Yeah, kind of thing.
that's where the
Yeah.
the cult like worship of the state comes in.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah,
especially that. I mean, that's why you get fancy uniforms and big parades and
absolutely.
yeah, stuff like that.
And that was one of the things they were talking about was they mentioned it in terms of essentially like white ethnocentrism, that sort of thing here. And it's like, well,
It's existed a lot of places.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Mussolini didn't really do that to a lot of people.
No, he
He
actually.
purged the shit out of his own people.
Yeah, well, I don't really know that much history about it. I
Uh,
mean, I like they didn't have. I mean, if they did, it wasn't like the Germans. As
no,
far as death camps and stuff.
they
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 didn't. They didn't expel Jews. I mean, the Germans made them once they took it
that
over.
was it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they made
after
him
they
do
took
it,
over.
but yeah, it was.
You know,
Mm,
but I mean, there was a lot of countries that were under German occupation that said no, you can't have our Jews. So
but there's a fine answer. It's like we don't know which one is which. I mean,
yeah.
sorry guys.
Well, that's what Denmark did. And he said,
Yeah,
well, if you're going to take the king of Denmark at the time, who had surrendered to the Germans in one fucking afternoon. So,
they were gonna lose.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like they didn't even really shoot at each other.
right.
So, but yeah, like Heinrich Himmler told him to hand over the Jews. He says, well, I'm the first Jew in Denmark, so you have to take me first. And
It's a good
Hitler
answer.
said, yeah, and Hitler said,
Ain't worth it.
it ain't worth it. Yeah,
Pick your battles, kid.
thinking about is good. Yeah. So, but yeah, now like fascism is kind of the thing that's funny about fascism is, I mean, we talk about it like it's been around forever, but it's a distinctly 20th
No,
century
yeah.
phenomenon, and it's only been tried 3 times.
How'd it go?
Well, not too good for the first two guys, but Franco stayed in power for like till 1970. So,
Well, this
but
is
he didn't get involved in the war.
this is a tough one, man. Is just longevity the sole measurement of success?
I no, because North Korea is still a thing.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that's the right yardstick, but whatever. Um, yeah, but no, it's just it's the thing about fascism is it's kind of silly when you look at it from the outside after a little while.
It's utterly
Yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. Yeah, it's really it's I mean it's circuses without bread. So and you start to realize that pretty
Yeah,
quickly. Yeah.
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 I mean, there's so you can take components of it and say, all right, you can take components of it and say, all right, I could see this being turned. This could be used as an asset. This could be useful. It's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing
Right.
to have a lot of confidence. Well, I don't want to say confidence, but sort of you know to believe in your institution, your country, that kind of thing here. But I mean, this is where it sort of steps on other things here. Is when you're applying that, and this was something that I found out about. I never really knew this about the Soviet Union. Was that church of theirs? That
The Orthodox Church?
yes,
Yeah.
they were constantly at odds with the communists.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty surprising that they actually survived the Stalinist regime. So
Yeah, because if they
yeah,
my understanding is they wanted it gone.
Stalin hated it.
Yeah,
Well, and originally he went to seminary, so in the Orthodox Church.
that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
that was his only formal education.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I mean, he didn't hate it because it was like oh, I don't believe in God kind of thing. He just was like it's a rival.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it was something that if they eradicated, they knew the people would actually
It
they
would
wouldn't
become
tolerate that.
problematic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean, so to that end, do you have to do that if you're actually following the opiate of the masses, quote unquote, uh,
oh, what with
part of?
Marx?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's like the only state that well, I don't know. Maybe North Korea's that way. I don't know enough about it. But the only state that like thoroughly eradicated all forms of religion was the CCP. So I mean,
except for well, Chinese communists. I know.
oh yeah, no, like yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, the Dalai Lama ran away. Yeah. So
I mean, they do allow religion.
kind of.
They're sort of
No, like I know you can't be a missionary in China.
right,
Yeah,
right.
and there's like I mean, you can go to temples, but the temples are all about culture. They're not about like, Taoism or anything anymore. All that stuff's in Taiwan now.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. But yeah, those little components are there. So I mean, you're right.
but they
So
burned it all down in the 1960s. So, I mean, that was the whole Cultural Revolution thing.
well, to be
Um,
fair, I mean, there is still like Taoist crap, right?
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the same way that, um, God, there's a time period where after Christian missionaries went to Japan,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
People were wearing crosses as like fashion
They thought it
accessories.
was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
didn't quite get it.
Well, I mean, it's sort of it is an odd thing, in that culture here.
Well, I mean, that's a big part of the reason why they got. I mean, so the Shogun, I can't remember which one it was. It might even be Tokugawa was the one who killed all the Christians. Like, I mean, all of them. And then it didn't show up there until
Right.
after World War II. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, he kicked them all out. And then that's when they broke all the guns in half. So,
That's not the
um, I think it was Tokugawa. So after he won the war, I think he was the one who did that.
I think it would have to be
I think he did.
because this was after the original. This would have been after the original, ships, breaking through and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
And,
this is 1600s.
yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah.
mean everybody likes to think that Japan is ancient and goes back tens of thousands of years. It doesn't. You know?
Well, you
Yeah.
don't start on an island. You don't.
Right.
That's the thing is if you spawn on an island, I
Ooh.
mean that's the trick. Everybody starts on the big land, and you have to get out to the little land.
Right, and they're gonna show up with cannon when you still have fucking pikemen. Yeah.
Let that be a lesson.
Let that be a lesson to you. Yeah. So
That one indigenous tribe has still not invented newspapers.
right,
So,
exactly. Yeah. Still rubbing sticks together, huh, buddy?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think you're right, but yeah, there is that same kind of thing where, yeah, I think there is still some of that kitschy stuff that they take from the religious stuff, but it's decorative.
it's
It's
kitschy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, on the other hand, the South Koreans very much took to Christianity.
Oh, that's where Moonanites came from.
That is correct.
Not Moonanites. They're the Moonies.
I like your version better. It's very accurate. Um, yeah, they took to it wholeheartedly.
You remember that guy who used to stand selling flowers? I'm not a Moonie.
Absolutely.
Didn't Rob? Didn't you? Did they throw a bucket of piss on him?
He did not, but his older brother
His
did.
older brother did.
Yeah.
That's so funny because later on I met that guy. His son was dating my sister-in-law for a little brief period.
You gotta be kidding
No,
me.
I know, man. It was the same fucking guy. I didn't ask him about the piss bucket.
How in how on earth did that come up?
Oh, I just recognized him.
You
So
recognized him?
yeah,
The kid?
no, the guy.
Oh,
The guy was there.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, oh,
yeah.
oh. Well, I guess he did all right for himself.
I don't know.
Well, he had a family
He
and
did. He had a family, and yeah, all he did was sell flowers. So
was he an Asian guy?
no,
I didn't think
no,
so.
he's a white guy with a big old
That's
Gandalf
what I
beard.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he was not Asian.
Yeah, I remember asking my dad that. I was like, "What is a Mooney?"
See, my dad would talk about it, but in that most derogatory way ever. Like it was fucking Moonies, you know. That I mean, he like so he worked in airports for years, so he always had to
Oh,
deal with
yeah,
Hare
okay, yeah,
Krishnas, yeah, and stuff
yeah.
like that. So I don't even think that's a thing anymore. It might be.
All right, Krishnas?
Yeah.
I think
I
so,
think
but I
I've only
think
seen a few in my entire life, man. And they were at the airport.
well, I think it's sort of. I think that movement is sort of before our time for the most part.
Well, the Moonies were too, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it was.
But they were like armed too, the Moonies. So
Well, this was part of the.
yeah, I know. Like I don't know the story about what happened in Korea, but I know that like all the refugees went up here.
Little bit. I mean, that's yeah. It's one of those things where you ask like a simple question when you say like, "What is a Mooney?" and you're expecting an answer of like, I don't know, it's like a fish.
Right, yeah, exactly.
it's some kind of it's a
It's
disease,
unleavened bread.
right? But it's one of those where your dad knows, especially because he's married to a Korean woman,
Oh yeah.
where he just kind of
It's like never mind.
he's just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't remember if that's something I don't remember if he ever. I think he ended up giving me a quick version of it later, but eventually, and I don't even remember the whole damn story now. It's so
There was some kind of Christian cult
yeah,
that came from South Korea. The guy's name was Moon.
Sun Young Moon,
Yeah,
yeah,
Sun Young Moon.
yeah.
Yeah. So and it was really big in the '60s. And I mean, it had to do like because South Korea back then was also a dictatorship, basically. So
In everything but name and sometimes name.
yeah, and sometimes also a name.
Yeah. This even to this day, like it's not surprising for my mom, where I talk to her. It's like, is it not strange to see your current president, in jail? So it happens all the
It
time.
happens all the time. It's
Happens all the
normal.
time.
That
Yeah.
freaking crooks. Yeah.
That is the truth of it. Evidently, it is rotten, rotten.
I've heard
Just
that it is just it's a merry-go-round.
yeah,
Yeah,
like the society.
Rooster no wet their beak. Yeah.
That's really it. Yeah,
Mm.
it's. I mean, it's weird because the society still works, but it's sort of a. I mean, like to Japan's credit, they've actually stamped out like just about all like of the major yakuza stuff. Right, there's stuff that still
It kind of
exists.
died out.
It's
Yeah.
There's two components of it. Is like it just doesn't work in 2026, but
Right.
also they did. I can't remember when it was something like in the 2010s or something. They put new laws on the books and really went after these guys. But it's that same sort of element where, yes, we know it exists. Yes, we know it's criminal, but it's part of society,
Right. Yeah.
right? We just have our own. It boggles my mind to be able to just go down the street and it's just like Faustian pacts, by the Circle K, where it's like, I want you to do this for me, and in return, something may be needed of me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very odd living here. Now, to be fair, um, the depths of corruption and grift and ripping off are just blowing my mind every day. The more that is being discovered.
Oh, you mean the government?
Yes.
Uh, I don't know. What is it? What else did they come out with? I mean, because I was going to follow up. There was something that you told me about the other night. I was meant to follow up on that. What was it? It was autism or something. There was another whole batch of fraud out of Minnesota.
Yeah. The
What
the
was it?
the one that they talked about today was the it's not ride sharing. It's the
MedRide?
yeah,
Oh, is that a scam?
big time.
Oh fuck! I
They
kind of knew it, man. I have seen so many of those MetaShare cars over the last, I'd say, like 4 or 5 years. I
they
knew it, and I looked into it once because I was like, "Oh, that'd be great for my mom." They don't take Medicaid. They don't take Medicare. They take Medicaid only.
really
Yeah. Well, okay. So think about it. All right. So what's the major difference between Medicare and Medicaid? So
one covers disability, right?
they both cover disability.
Oh,
Medicare is for old people, but more importantly, it's a federal program. Okay.
oh,
Medicaid in every state is actually a state program where they get block grants from the U.S. government. And so Medicaid is for poor people. And so it's up to the state to kind of set eligibility for those. And so that's why I was like, well, that's fucking bullshit. So you go around and you'll drive around people who are poor, but you won't pick up my mom who's old.
well, what they want to do is just pay.
What?
They just won't pick her up. It's just
They just won't pick her up because they can't bill her insurance. Okay, so
oh,
because Medicare's like, fuck that. And then, yeah, so I've been seeing these over and over and over again. And I'm like, and I see them empty all the time. I rarely see, a guy, like all cannulated up and stuff in the
right,
back seat or
right.
anything. They're always fucking empty. So I was kind of curious if that was a scam. That does not shock me at all, man.
Well, this is that component where the guy is like, look, so these are, I've actually been filming these for over a year.
Yeah.
Not a one of them has moved.
They didn't pick anybody up?
Nope.
Yeah.
This every vehicle is exactly what none of these have moved. The other one that blew my mind is like this is
God damn, I knew that, man.
well this
That I was. Oh man, I should have followed that up because I remember saying that to like a couple guys at the yacht club. Oh no, no! I was like, I think it's a fucking scam because I can't get money to pick up my mom, who
well,
actually needs it.
so when I say this, I think there's I think there are people that do use it.
There are definitely people that have used it. I've seen them at my doctor's office and stuff like that. But there's a bunch of them that's just empty, and it's like, well, how would you actually know if someone actually rode that car? You know?
And that's part of it. And so the other one that blew my mind was interpreter services, right? So this is this was genius.
Okay,
This was
yeah.
absolute genius. Was okay. So that's the other scam. One of the other many other scams that they have. And this is where they say like, well, don't pick on the Somalis. Well, the Somalis are doing it because they're doing it with Somali interpreters, right? So
Oh man, come on, dude. That's like robbing your own bank. What I mean?
but here's the trick, right? Patrick, let's say you and I both speak English. We both speak Somali.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, I need you to interpret for me.
that is correct. And they bill $100 an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. That's low hanging fruit. So. Oh my God, that's so fucking dumb,
So
dude.
many fucking layers of this shit. And
Well, see, here's the thing: is they're finding most of it on the state level.
yeah,
So yeah, exactly.
which means they had help.
Well, it's either means that they have help, otherwise, like there's a lot of like fucking self dealing going on there, or, and this is probably what I think, it really comes down to is that just like the Matthew Lesko book.
Yes,
So
yes.
So you form a Matthew Lesko fan club, and you tell all your friends about this, and you start to get going.
Well,
So,
okay, okay, all right. So, all right. Now, this was the other one that was just absolutely unreal. Was they've been going to these websites for these places, right?
mhm.
And one of the things they found was, um, and again, these are places that have been checked out and stuff. So the text on the websites still says like ipso lorem.
Oh, come on,
I
dude.
shit you not.
That's
I
hilarious.
shit you not. It's
Yeah,
it's just basic. It's the template,
it's the template text. Yeah.
and that's so ultimately. So here's the trick of what they're finding it, right? Because ultimately there's people in the middle who are starting to talk, but ultimately it's the people on the ground. I mean, they're fucking seizing Lamborghinis from these people, dude.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but they're getting the people on the ground, and what they're going to do is they're going to keep squeezing these folks until they find out who's the last hand that a cut gets to, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where that's going to be. I think it's
So
going to be some white person, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I'd be really surprised. So, like, here's the thing: is going to be really hard. I mean, you know that politicians are involved in it, but I very much so doubt that they took any direct cash. So you would do campaign contributions, and then you could hide that really, really easily. So I almost guarantee you that's what's going on. So when Tim Walz walks out and raises $5 million in one day, come on, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, the day after Kamala got announced that he was going to be the guy. So
Yeah.
it was like you scored $5 million in one day. So really, who?
And you think about it, the amazing thing is you look at this Elmer Fuddyan man, and the the truth is, and the weirdest thing is like the only reason he was picked was because she didn't want to take a Jewish guy from Pennsylvania
That
because that would have pissed
is
off the
one
Palestine
hundred
people.
percent correct.
That is it.
That is it. That's the only reason. Because I mean, yeah, you're right. He's Elmer Fudd. He's political roadkill right now. So
Oh, that dude is just
he's done.
he's just Southern fried albatross, dude. He's just fucking battered and like this shit is thick and heavy, man.
Yeah, it's so burnt it's hollow, man.
This shit's fried hard. Yeah,
Fried
it's,
hard.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. Like I would not like the thing he said today. He actually said, like word for word, he actually said, the agents are going door to door asking people to tell them where the colored people are.
Oh, come on.
And it's again, if we this is what I'm if we actually had media that was worthwhile, they would have fucking like crucified him with that shit.
Well, I wonder what their local media's been saying about it. So,
Well, funny
because
enough,
they've got one local station there that's pretty anti-Waltz. So,
they've got a few actually.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
the one they actually the one that got the hmm, okay. So there's the one that got the actual cell phone footage from the victim, the one that was hit by the car.
Oh wow, they got that. Huh.
It yeah,
I didn't know that.
the it wasn't that network. I know the network that did, and they were
Is it Al Jazeera? I
no.
don't
It's actually
know.
it's a local place called Alpha News, and they're the
Oh,
ones
okay,
that actually got that's the footage they got from them. So
okay.
everything has been sourced through them, and that is something I saw um
I wonder how they
via
got that.
via work. Actually,
The what?
I saw that via work.
Via work? Oh, okay.
hmm I that was actually a technicality that came up
What?
specifically about that video,
How they got it?
whether or not you monetize it.
Oh, that?
hmm
I don't know.
Well, that was the discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that. So I guess if I put my like little picture down in the corner and did reaction video,
So
monetize it. So,
so that was one of the questions here because yeah, so if you for example, that was where like legality came in, is so if you're a news station, right, you don't typically. It's very rare to just buy somebody's footage outright.
Yeah.
Right? You're usually going to either, they'll either let you have it or you're going to pay for some exclusivity or whatever
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
right? But the question is, does that make it yours when it comes to displaying it? Turns out the answer is no.
Yeah, there's got to be law around that somewhere. I wouldn't know what it is though.
So that's pretty much it. Well,
Um,
especially when it comes to if a person can monetize it for the internet, and that's
yeah,
the answer is no, because you don't own it. You'd have to buy it outright. Then you would have to say this is our property. In that case,
you still have to attribute it. Blah blah
yeah.
blah. Yeah,
It was a unique case. It did come up.
that's interesting.
Oh. But yeah, they are very much against that kind of shit, and I don't blame them. I mean, this is the
What monetization?
no, that network being against.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, so ICE is like there was some polling that came out yesterday. They are insanely unpopular for some of the tactics they're using. So I can see that. So rolling around in military surplus gear is not a great idea. So I mean, it makes instances like this look a lot more like thuggish than what they actually are. Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't quite get that one. I did see that thing that the Chicago police chief put out though that you talked
Yeah,
about
he wasn't
today.
fucking
No,
around.
he wasn't fucking around at all.
Yeah.
He was like, "Do not mess with them." So yeah, do not follow them. Do not do this. Do not do that. Do not expect us to get between you and them. So yeah, it was pretty clear.
Well, it's funny because yeah, that is in strict contrast to the fucking idiot that runs that city. So
Oh, Chicago. I don't like I said, I don't know anything about
uh,
Chicago politics.
it's
So other than the fact that it's crooked, and I don't think that's ever not been that way.
it has a history.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very much
Yes.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see what other kind of fraud. I'm curious. Like, there's got to be some guys in Colorado who are starting to work on this too, because there's
There are.
good man. Because I guarantee you that MedRide one is probably up there. There's a couple others, but see, here's the thing: is like our state is actually in a deficit right now for the first time in a while. And like there are really important things that are getting cut so because of this, and so it's like, well, if you can find like you know I think our I can't remember the numbers. I think we're like somewhere like 8 billion in the hole or something like that. You can
Wow.
probably find something close. I mean, it's not like California, bad, as far as the deficit goes. It has to do with some COLA adjustments and things that have to do with like they're inflation based, things like that. But I guarantee you could probably find some pretty decent fraud in this state that actually clean that up. So and cover some of those gaps. Because I mean, they couldn't even make all the contributions to para for teachers this year.
See, that's
So
pretty wacky.
it is pretty
Yeah.
shitty. So, and if that means that some fucker is getting like med share rights rather than a teacher getting their pension cola, so that's fucked up. So
Well, I completely agree. I mean, so this is. I guess I would ask you here. Um, it has to come from one of two places. It would be here or Denver.
what?
If there's any kind of sinkhole of fucking.
It could be anywhere, dude. I mean, I have no idea exactly what the. I mean, it doesn't have to be where there's a population center. I mean, you could find people like fucking with water rights or something. I have no
Oh,
idea.
okay, okay, yeah.
Or like all the glad handing that's been going on building solar plants all over the South I-25 corridor. There's tons of them.
Okay,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've changed my mind on solar actually. So Elon Musk changed my mind on that.
In terms of the efficiency of it.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, it's actually really fucking good, and all this cold fusion stuff that people are talking about, it's basically a pipe dream. So we should just do this. So and it
Well,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Well, here's a point. It's just like, and the closer you can get it to the sun, the better.
Yeah, and they said well, we can do it in space,
Yeah.
and then actually, because I remember back in the Sim City 2, you could build a microwave plant, or that was kind of the idea.
Right, right.
Yeah. So,
I'm telling you, that dude, um, he is he does have a problematic brain, and he is
he does.
exceptionally horny. But that being said, when it comes down to it, there's this I love the narrative going around where there's a lot of people saying, well, actually, he's not that smart. He's just his dad. He owned an emerald mine, and he just, it's
He
like,
came over with like 2,500 bucks in his pocket. I saw that tweet the other day.
well, the bottom line, even here's the trick: none of that even matters.
His
Is
dad was a fucking lunatic, too.
and his mom is a fucking internet troll. So I mean,
Oh, really?
it's well, she was a former. She used to be a model, but
Oh,
she will pop in. She will pop into threads every now and then and be like, "Stop making fun of my son." But no, it's not quite like that. But every now and then she does talk some shit. But the point is on this. Well, okay, so there have been tons of rich kids in human history.
oh yeah.
None of them are launching rockets.
No. Well, I mean, there were some who did.
Privately?
Huh?
Privately, just where,
Rich kids?
yeah, rich kids building companies to launch rockets. And
Well, I
so,
mean, he's not the only company that does that, man. I mean, he's just been really successful at it.
well, that's what I'm
So
saying
yeah, but I
is
mean, so like Bezos has got his. Was it Blue Origin or whatever it is?
yeah, they do two a year.
Yeah, I know. Well, they
Well,
just can't scale as much. I mean, that's a lot of fucking work. So, and I
agreed.
think, so, and to be fair, Amazon is a much bigger company than Tesla. So, I mean, it's gonna like, okay, so this is kind of what we do, and that we do that for fun.
Oh, no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
get that. It's just the whole point of this here is that, yeah, um, to point it out and say that, okay, well, so essentially anybody could do this. Well, the
That
answer
is
is
not true. That is decidedly not true.
anybody was not doing this.
No, that's decidedly not true. So, and I mean, a lot of that is just because of the fact that NASA doesn't do it anymore. So,
That's correct.
yeah.
Well, it's not cost effective.
No, it's extremely expensive. So, yeah, well, and I mean, to be fair, like, so, SpaceX has been launching for what, 10, 12 years now?
Something like that.
They didn't like their first couple of years, they were only doing one, and then
Yeah.
like every other year, and then they were trying to perfect the landing thing. So, for a long time. So they're getting there, man. So now he wants to go to Mars for some reason. For reasons.
Well, I get the reason. I mean, it's very science fictiony. And to be fair, I get it. There's a sort of, and I don't need to talk about, fucking head in the sand. All right, we know all that. But when it comes down to it, if you do take the argument that, um, based on human history,
Mhm.
there will eventually be a cataclysmic event on this planet. And if we are not elsewhere, we are done.
Yeah.
And to that point, I mean, so there's a few different arguments about this where they said, okay, so is it something where you do this, you go to Mars? Is it something where you actually build things out in space? Have it
That is much more practical. So,
I would think
yeah.
so. I mean, I think
Much, much more practical. So, yeah. Yeah, Mars, I've been on an astronomy kick lately, and
have
I
you?
watched a lot of the stuff on like getting to Mars, being able to live there, all this different stuff. It is insanely dangerous. Um, and there's nothing there. There's nothing for you there. Okay, you're not going to mine it because you can't lift off Mars unless you bring all that fuel with you.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so it's just like the engineering challenges are amazing. And then on top of that, nobody's actually been out beyond the Earth's magnetosphere for more than 3 days. So nobody has any fucking clue what it's actually going to do to you. So
Oh, right.
it's only been the guys who got on the moon, and none of them were on the moon for more than 3 days. So that's it.
Did any of them report uh, stomach upset, diarrhea?
Yeah,
Um,
nausea, indigestion.
right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like I just feel off. I got brain fog.
So I don't know what it
No,
is.
Jeff, this is the 1970s. They all hopped off the thing and started smoking camels. So
It wasn't a movie set anyway.
it's a
Yeah,
movie set anyway.
yeah.
So
So, man, I have moon fever.
right. I don't know. We'll see. He says he's going to try and send a rocket out there this year, so that'll be cool. Maybe go
Hey,
take some
man,
pictures.
this is sort of the there's a version of things where it's the closer it comes to reality, the further away it seems. Versus,
Mhm.
like if you're like in Jules Verne times and you're picturing this, it becomes easy because you can take 17 steps to the technology that gets to where you are.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Once you get closer to that last mile, it's like, all right, so where are the practicalities in here that we're missing?
Mhm.
Right. This is sort of that's where the rubber really meets the road because it's like, all right, so in theory, this, and this. But what happens when we get there,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
right?
Yeah.
And that's sort of
Well,
the
I mean, that's what we
concern.
did on the moon. I mean, it was kind of like show up, grab some rocks, go home, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really. I mean, well, there is talk about them building a moon base within the next couple of
Mhm.
years, which would be cool. There's actually this really cool engineering design called the lunar elevator.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, where you wouldn't quite get all the way to back to Earth. So, but you could basically build an elevator because now it's zero G. The whole problem with the space elevator, okay, is that once you dip into the gravitational pull of the Earth, that whole cable becomes heavy.
Right, right.
Right, right. So, but if you do it outside of the gravitational pull of Earth, it's weightless, and so all you'd have to do is shuttle up, hook up to the thing, load up your cargo like what was that helicopter game with the little hook?
Oh, Desert
There
Strike.
we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Just hook it back to the moon. So because there's no gravity on the moon, so well, very very little.
Right.
So yeah, it was actually kind of cool, a neat design. Um, yeah, there's a lot of neat designs. I've been actually looking at like breaking the speed of light. It is not possible unless all current models of physics are wrong. So
That's the thought. I
yeah,
mean, again,
it might be, but
the
if E equals mc squared is true, then it's not possible. So
that's the theory. I mean, again,
yeah,
I can't. So I can speak to that in the absolute terms that they discussed here. And again, that comes to why can light do it? Well, because it's a wave and a particle, right?
correct. Yep,
And it's the only thing that's like that.
correct.
Um, but the trick on this here, I mean, they get to that same thing where it's infinite mass, infinite energy, right?
Right. Yeah.
And those are
Exactly.
two impossibilities at one point,
Exactly. Yeah.
right?
So
And so the question there is the aspect that we're thinking about this here, is speed the aspect that we're approaching from the right
well, and that's
perspective?
what a lot of people are thinking. It's like, well, it might have to be a multi-generational project if you actually want to get to another planet. So, yeah, I mean, literally take you. I mean, the nearest one, even if you're, I think it's like, even if you're going at 20% the speed of light, which is almost
It's
they,
very fast.
it's very fast, but they figured out ways to do that, just not with anything that's bigger than a fucking quarter.
Right,
So,
right.
so they actually have designed little tiny ships, that basically it's like an iPhone camera. And it's got a little sail on it. And you push it with a laser, and so
Oh,
yeah, it's really
okay.
clever
Yeah,
stuff, man.
yeah.
But it's like this big. So it's like, where do the people go? They don't go. So you get to see where it's going. Yeah, but anyway, but that's okay. I mean, even within the solar system, it's kind of interesting. There's like so many cool places that you want to just see, you know. Yeah, that's the thing is like, I mean, if you think about like exploration during the 1500s and stuff like that, they
Right,
had the tech, they had the ships,
right.
okay? And
There was
so
a time they did not.
there was a time where they did not, but eventually they got to the point in time where they got the ships, all right? And that was the thing that actually mattered because you could live on the ship. So, and that was kind of the point. So if you get off and the native throws spears at you, get back on the boat. If they come bringing sugar, tea, and rum, then you trade. you know? So, but yeah.
And it wasn't. You're right. It's not just the ships, but also certain things like food preservation, things like that.
Yeah, they knew how to
Yeah.
salt pork. Well, that's one of the problems because there's this great guy. He does these deep dives on all of these things. He's talking about okay, so multi-generational things. It's like probably the only seeable way to do this. At the moment, it's like because could we do that? The answer is yes. Okay, because they was going through all the different things. It's like, okay, so you watched Alien, so freezing a human being is not possible.
That does not work.
Not
No.
work. you know, They said even like like hibernations type sleep, it's not possible in humans. You can't actually do it. So yeah, um, and then on top of that, he pointed out like the obvious is like, okay, so if you took an 8-year journey,
Mhm.
okay, imagine laying in your bed for 8 years and then trying to stand up.
That's
So,
correct.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. He's like, you're gonna break your legs. You know?
Unless, yes, unless you really were flash frozen. And then again, that I'm just gonna say it, man. Oh, look, we know this. We know how this works, right? Even if it's close, chicken is not the same fresh versus frozen.
Right.
It's just not. It's okay, right? In fact, it's for the most part, it's pretty good. But ultimately, when you freeze the water inside a human being,
Right.
it causes the human being to die.
It causes your cells to rupture.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. So,
So that when they thaw you out, you would actually just be ooze.
ooze. That's not cheese.
That's disgusting.
It'd be ooze.
Well, and that's again, this is where the solution, at least to me, is going to be it's either going to be something that's so simple or it's
Yeah.
going to be something that just nobody's thought of yet. I mean, this is the
Probably. Yeah.
it's when you talk about this thing, we talked about it before. Here's the practical applications of AI. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more of it. Um, and I'm seeing
Well, as long as it doesn't hallucinate it.
there is that. Look, there's a lot of people that have, again, a lot of people are sort of, having their blowback against it, whatever they're talking about. Uh, oh, my company brought this in. It was supposed to do this, this, and this. Is like, well, yeah, I mean, of course, and it's like, well, and they've actually brought back the employees. Like, of course they would. It's
Yeah.
it's the same way. Like, look, as soon as people found out that yes, these people in India can answer phones, they try it for a few years and eventually they stop because people don't like the experience. And the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
goes with
AI.
AI here. It's not ready, just like those guys aren't ready.
No, and well, okay, and
And that may
so
not even be the application you want anyway.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's too many like people are trying to use it for really low hanging fruit. It's like, oh, we can get rid of customer service and just do this instead.
Yeah,
People do not fucking like that.
no,
So yeah, it's like no, I need to talk to a real human being. And I mean, I've gotten to the point in time where if any website has a chat assistant on it, that
yeah,
gets closed immediately.
yeah.
So it's like, stop pestering me about my medical bills. Fuck off. I'm here to find the answer.
Well, I mean, it's a if you're going to talk about the functionality of one of these things here too, is you don't need the AI assistant just to point you toward the help page. If I wanted to go
Oh
there, I'd
yeah,
go there
I'd go there
myself.
myself.
You're going to
Yeah,
have me ask you a question, then it's going to say you can read more about it here. Motherfucker, I don't need you to enter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that I mean that shit's been around for 10 years now.
it is. It is.
Yeah, so I mean, just like there's going to be an element of it that is. You're right. It's going to be simpler and it's going to be probably weirder than we thought.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cool. So like especially with AI in particular, um, it's just going to take a few years to sort that out. And find out what those things actually are. But to my point, there's still fucking travel agencies out there. So the internet didn't ruin everything.
No,
Uh,
and to be fair, yeah, there is.
there is still a Walmart, even though there is an Amazon.
They do well for
they do.
themselves.
They do
Yeah.
just fine.
Sometimes
It's like
people,
number one and number two largest companies in the world. Yeah.
right, is you order the oranges online versus you squeeze the oranges when you buy them. It's
Right.
quite all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You grow up the oranges.
Yes, you don't get to grope the Amazon oranges. It's just not how that works. You have to trust some goon to use their best judgment, and they don't.
No, they don't.
No, you don't get to put in there. You don't say, "Grab me 4 good avocados."
No, you don't get to do that. Even if you try and do that on Instacart, they don't really respond to you.
You know why? Because they don't
They
know.
don't know and they don't really care.
That's
So
correct.
yeah.
I know where to squeeze it. I know where to squeeze it to find out if it's something where because avocados come in one of 3 varieties.
Right.
One is petrified. They're difficult to eat. They're difficult to skin. They're difficult to make. I don't. You don't eat these things, but yeah, they either come as a solid rock or they come as a uh, basically a bag of oatmeal in a
Oh,
or okay, and that's where state number 3 is just in the middle.
just in the middle, the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I found out something about Instacart the other day that I didn't know.
What's this?
Well, so like I order from two places. I order from Costco and King Supers.
Okay.
And so King Supers, when you order on Instacart, it's not like a guy gets your order and then goes and picks out all your shit and then go check out and then goes to his car and then drives to your house, drops the shit off, and then goes back. So no, it gets routed to like a personal shopper at fucking King Supers
Yeah.
who does this for everybody
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
prepares the orders and then they have various drivers. And so, I was curious because I was like, well, why? Like, this is my driver. This is my order picker right here. That ain't that guy. So I'm sorry. I've been on scam alert lately.
Rightly so.
But no, actually, I met somebody at the yacht club the other day who did that for
Oh, really?
a
Oh,
living. Yeah.
okay.
And she was like, no, 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 no. So it goes way faster this way. So you have teams of like three or four people who are kind of working together. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, I presume you all get paid.
Yeah, they do. They all
Okay.
split it up. Yeah. So Costco, we were talking about Costco gas the other day. Did you see the local news today?
Uh-uh.
They done fucked up, man.
Huh.
So they put diesel in the regular gas over there.
Oh.
Oh.
So is there like a complaint line?
Yeah, yeah.
Or do they let people know?
Yeah.
Or is it just something that you discover and you talk to your mechanic and say, how did this happen?
My car won't go.
You
So,
have got to be kidding me.
no, it came from Denver. So there was apparently a tanker truck that stopped off at a couple different places, and one of them was our Costco right over here that had diesel loaded where it was supposed to be 80 or 91. So, and
Okay, well, at least it's 91.
that doesn't fucking matter. If
Oh, no.
yeah, you put a little diesel in your gas car, it's fucked.
No. At least they didn't put it in like 87 or 85, which people use
You know
more
what
of.
87 is? It's
Oh,
just 85 and
80.
91 mixed together. There is no 87. Literally, there are only two tanks underneath there, and they just mix them together.
That's it.
That's it.
It's fucking chocolate, vanilla, and swirl.
It's chocolate vanilla swirl. Now, I don't feel ripped off by that. So, but
Well,
there's no reason to actually refine a mid-grade gas because all you have to do is mix together a low-grade and a high-grade gas, and you get the same fucking thing.
well, wait a second. Now, I understand that at different elevations, right?
Yeah.
Because we have 85. I think there's places where,
They don't have 85,
yeah.
so they have 87. So yeah,
So that means they're
that's
running.
their lowest, and so they have 87, 93. Their 91 is just 93 and 87 mixed together. It's the same fucking thing. I didn't realize that. So
I mean, it makes perfect sense in hindsight. And anybody that would explain it to me, well, I don't know if it's like. So I'm presuming that gasoline is not like Yoplait yogurt, where the fruit's on the bottom and you got to spin
right, yeah,
it.
you gotta stir it
I think
all
it
up.
just
It's
kind
got
of
crunchy
naturally.
bits in it.
Yeah. I presume it reaches equilibrium on
Right,
its
yeah,
own.
yeah.
And probably pretty quickly, just to be honest with you. Probably in the tube.
Probably in the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Um,
So anyway, they had
wow.
a
Okay.
tanker of 97 or 92, 91 go over there and accidentally drop off fucking diesel.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I've only seen that happen once. That was when I was working for Frontier, and that poor girl put diesel in a brand new truck. So
Like a company truck?
it was a company truck. It was brand spanking new, big old Dodge, and she came back and she's like, "Oh, the truck won't start." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I don't know." It's just like, okay. And it's like, "What did you do?" She said, "I went and filled up with gas." It's like, "Oh, okay." So we drove out there, and she only made it like 300 yards. So from the fuel pump. So
Oh my God.
before it was zonked out.
Yeah, because it doesn't take much.
This much.
Yeah.
This much. So completely different type of gas. So yeah. Um, so we're sitting there trying to figure this out. And, I mean, one of the guys there, he was actually a pretty handy mechanic.
Mm.
So he's checking plugs and everything like that. And he's like, "Man, I don't understand what's going on with this." And then he's like, "It's almost like you put diesel in it." So, and she's like, "I did put diesel in it." He's like, "You put diesel in this?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a truck." He says it takes diesel. He's like, "This is not a diesel truck. Did you have to hold, you had to hold the thing on top of it so it didn't spill gas, right? There's a reason why it doesn't fit in that hole. So, and she's like, oh, I thought that's just how these trucks work.
Wait.
She got fired.
Uh,
That was kind of unfortunate, but
yeah, but okay. So how could you be cognizant enough to know that a lot of trucks do take diesel, but not enough to know that that just doesn't fit the hole and there?
I don't know, man. To be fair, she was extremely young.
Okay.
And I mean, she was a pretty decent worker. But yeah, there's just like, I mean, that's something your dad should teach you, at some point in time. And, if it just
Yeah.
never comes up, it never comes up. So I was a little bit kinder to her, but, like fucking my boss was like, no, fire her. And I was like, okay, you do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it's sort of a. You're right. That is one of the things that you presume that because mom doesn't teach you that. She just
mom doesn't
doesn't.
teach you
It's
that stuff.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not picking on mom or anything, but you know, mom doesn't pay attention. She knows
No.
which one goes in her car.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway,
But I mean, it's the
but
same.
if I went to Costco and they did that to my car, I'd be getting a new fucking car out.
That is
Yeah.
correct. Because I mean, you can fix it, but don't you have to dismantle the whole fucking
You
engine?
have to pull the whole thing apart,
Yeah.
man. And then you have to scrub and clean the entire system because they did that with that truck. Okay, because we had just bought it; it was brand fucking new. All right, and it was supposed to last us like 10 fucking years or whatever. I mean, that lasted longer than the company did, which was hilarious, but whatever. Because they went bankrupt later that year. So they fucking deserved it too, but whatever. But yeah, so we had a mechanic shop and they had one guy who was wrenching on it for like 3 weeks straight. And he came back and, it's just like, man, I've never had to do that before. He walked us through the whole thing where you have to like use fucking pipe cleaners and these cables with swabs on them to actually get all the lines clean, and then you have to either a get a new gas tank because it's always going to have that diesel reservoir in there, or you have to cut it open and scrub it, which
Which
is
did he do?
which they made him do that. So yeah.
What a weird spot to draw the line and
That was
say
weird. Yeah. Well, they didn't pay for anything. I mean, he could have just replaced the lines with like new parts and stuff, but they were like, no, fix it. So, because they had him anyway. So, dude, my boss there was a cheap ass. So, I mean, the cheapest of cheap ass bosses that ever ran. So,
I guess, but I mean, in theory, if you're putting into work for those hours, that is time that he could be spent somewhere else, right? Or was this just sort of like, hey, you work on this and you're not.
mechanic shop was not my deal. So, don't know, but yeah. The guy who did it was good. He was a good dude. So, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he was
nuts.
just like,
That's
yeah,
fucking
they like
insane.
that's the hardest job they've had me do. So I was like, okay. I mean, this is a guy who like fixes fucking belt loaders for a living,
Right. That is insane. And it sounds like he had the equipment to actually lift everything out.
Oh
And
yeah,
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 that's cool.
yeah. Well, I mean, it was a hangar, so we had everything. So
Well, I didn't think about it like that.
yeah, they had every tool known to man.
Well, yeah, that is a cool experience. But yeah, that's something that they're going to be getting some of those problems here. And
But
Costco.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure Costco's the kind of company that just like, okay, our bad. Here you go. So
Well, their insurance is going to be
it'll be fun.
take care
Yeah,
of this.
yeah. So no, so some dudes got free cars, I guess, or will get free cars out of that. No, I was actually checking out Costco the other day. Man, they pay great.
Do they?
Oh, dude, yeah. So, like, I was telling you the other day that an overnight stocker at Walmart makes $30 an hour, and the reason why they make $30 an hour is because it's overnight shift, so they get a shift diff on them. So
Okay.
that's like $4. So, like, actual stocker job over there, you start out like 24, and then you bump up another $2 an hour after like 6 months or whatever.
Oh,
Costco starts you out at about $30 an hour, man.
really?
Yeah, that's $65,000 a year if you think about it. That is not your old school retail job that you get at Target during the summer anymore. I mean, that you can make a living doing that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, So I don't know what happened the other day, but I was just going down this rabbit hole. It's like, let's see what jobs are out there, around this town and stuff like that. And there's a shitload of bullshit jobs in this town. So, that are just like, okay, I guess I could go and make $35,000 a year, being a home healthcare aide or something like that, you know.
Yeah, it seems like there's kind of a divide here where if you there's one section where it's 12.50 an hour,
Yes.
and then it jumps to like 30.
So I'll tell you exactly where the cut line is on those.
What's that?
Whether or not you get to pick your own schedule. If you
That's
don't,
it.
if yeah, if you don't,
Oh,
if you don't give a fuck about what schedule you work, you get paid. So it is that simple. So, but if you're like, oh yeah, I want to work like weekends, holidays, blah, 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 then yeah, you go down to $12 an hour. you know,
I guess that's just absolutely nothing to guys like us. Where,
no,
yeah,
you
it's
worked what you were told to work.
well, that's the job.
That's the job.
So we have this agreed upon rate upon which you're going to do this.
Mhm.
Um,
So, but no, like, and so you can tell right away which jobs are ones where you have schedule flexibility because they're almost universally part time. And the other
uh,
thing, part time jobs almost universally, not just like, not only do you make less because you work few hours, but you get paid less per hour
right,
for those jobs.
right.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if you want full time work in this fucking city, you can find it tomorrow. So,
Well, this is
I mean, there is a lot of shit out there, and a lot of it pays a hell of a lot better than I remember it paying. So,
it's a different time.
a
It's
totally
a way
different
different
time,
time.
man.
It's a so this is sort of it's a question of like mixed reporting. I think one of the things that I might have asked you to look at was something economic, but I don't remember. Um, but it was the way it's being presented now in terms of like, okay, so inflation is holding steady. The jobs report wasn't awesome. In fact, it was kind of ugly. But like the CPI was good. As like
CPI
I
is
don't
good, yeah.
and
Jobs report, it depended on which one you were looking at. So, because they report like two different types. There's the one that's all non-farm payrolls and stuff like
yeah,
that. Blah
yeah,
blah blah.
yeah.
The thing that a lot of people were glomming onto on the jobs report was we've actually lost quite a few manufacturing jobs.
Uh,
Okay, and it was like, oh my god, that's what he wanted to bring in. I was like, no, those jobs fucking suck. So what companies are doing when they set up new factories? Because I've seen this happen down in Pueblo.
have you?
Yeah, where they bring in new things. Oh, it's all automated now.
Oh,
Okay, and so if they do an automated process, they're not going to go out and hire 300 guys to bend hammers. They're going to buy three guys who are really hotshot engineers who can fix the fucking machines
okay.
that bend the hammers for you. So that I mean they if you listen to the right people, that's what they always said was going to happen. If you did anything with reshoring, you're not going to open up a new fucking blast furnace somewhere. Okay, if you get to build a new steel mill, you're going to build the most modern, cost efficient one that you possibly fucking can. So that makes sense. But a lot of people were climbing, oh, Trump's plan's not working. And it was like, yeah, but I mean, that's still adding to GDP. Okay.
Right,
Yeah. So,
right. Which
okay.
is
Yeah. It's
which
not
was going bananas.
it's going nuts, dude. I've seen people projecting like 6.5% next year. That is insane, dude. So if that's even close, like remotely accurate, if that's off by 2 points, that's still 4.5. That's amazing.
Well, this was
That's
okay.
not even possible. I don't think I've seen that.
Well, this was okay. So you did see the reduction in the trade deficit, whereas
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that's way bigger than I thought it was.
yeah, it's huge.
That's huge.
But evidently, China is saying that they had record trade.
Yeah. I okay.
I don't feel like these two things are exclusive from one
Well, and that's
another.
the thing is like it's not a zero sum game. If their
Right,
trade goes up, our trade can go up too.
right,
So yeah,
right.
and like that's the whole magic behind free market economics. Is it's not like I win, you lose, kind of thing. It's like, well, if we do business together, then we
Right,
both win,
right.
right? Yeah. So, and that's the thing that I just don't think a lot of people get, But I mean, so there's like certain other things, like the gas prices are a big, like that's a big plus.
It's
It's
huge.
huge, and that's definitely something that'll have knock-on effects for the next year. You know, um, and the same thing, I saw that like in a lot of the major cities, that had seen a lot of expansion, rents are fucking down. Okay, so like the classic example that was like rents were parabolic in Austin, Texas, for like the last 2 or 3 years. They have taken like a 40% hit. So
What happened?
just like got to the point in time where everybody's like, no, no, we're full. So the landlords are like, wait a minute, I got all these empty units.
So okay, all right. So okay, there has been some cheering, bipartisan cheering of all things, about this, the move to basically stop big companies from owning houses.
that
Eh,
that's dumb, but I
I,
understand why people feel that way. But if you actually, there's actually a really interesting study that came out like maybe 3 or 4 months ago where they looked at several markets where BlackRock had owned like
yeah.
books of more than 30 or 40 houses in an area, or more specifically, they would go in and buy apartment complexes.
Oh,
Okay, and so everybody's like, "Oh my god!" In every last one of those cases they looked at, when you had a company like BlackRock come in and buy up a block of apartments, it reduced rents for everybody.
why?
I don't know.
It just
That's just
happened.
how it showed up. So, and it said, yeah, and that like so in the paper itself, they didn't offer an explanation. They theorized that okay, so this company is probably renting, unlike an individual landlord like me, if I'm a dumbass and if I have a mortgage on my rental property, I have a floor on my rent because
Oh,
I'm not going to pay, I'm not going to rent the house to you for less than what I have to pay the mortgage for,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Does
yeah,
that make
yeah.
sense? So, but if BlackRock just comes in and all these are basically cashed out, so they are flat out owned, they can actually be really flexible on that, and so if
Oh, makes
market rates
sense.
go down below what it would take to have a mortgage, but that actually keeps their apartments filled, then they'll lower the rates in order to make sure that the apartments are full all the time. And it was like, but
Mm.
they couldn't demonstrate that. That was just speculation. But they looked at like 8 or 9 of these markets where there were large companies, and BlackRock's not the only one. There's some bigger ones out there. There's a lot of REITs, there's real estate investment trusts that do this too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's been a thing since the fucking 1980s. So the whole idea that this is something new that companies have been doing, that's false.
It's just a different version of it
Well,
now.
not even that. It's just like, oh, it's BlackRock. And
Right.
everybody's like, oh my God, they're
Yeah.
fucking evil,
Yeah.
woke, blah, 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 whatever. But, real estate investment trusts have been doing that for 30 fucking years. So, you just don't know who they are. I mean, I can't name one off the top of my head, but they're out there, but that's all they do is they just buy big chunks of property, whether they be single family homes or whether they be apartment complexes, and they just manage them as rentals. So that's not anything new. So, but and then that paper was kind of a stick in the eye of that entire argument. But a lot of people didn't read it, so because it doesn't fit a narrative of like big company evil, screw little man. You know? Yeah.
Well,
Which does move newspapers.
it does. Look, I mean,
But I just happen to know about that one because I remember us talking about that, and then I saw that paper, and some guy on Twitter posted it, and it was a big one. It was in one of the big economic journals, and I actually read the motherfucker. It was like, wow, that's very counterintuitive.
listen, it is strange. I mean, this is sort of the thing that's kind of getting me on that. I mean, there is. I guess I'll leave room for some skepticism. Everything that you're saying makes perfect sense, and I
Yeah,
mean, there is a component of, all right, the speculative answer does make sense, but like you said, you can't guarantee it. I can't say for
yeah,
sure.
no, no.
Um,
And this is just one paper,
right,
so
right.
I mean, they'll have to do follow-ups, but those will take years to figure out.
But there is,
Yeah.
I will reserve judgment here. I mean, if it's something that does move the needle, that's nice. I don't know. I don't. It's weird because the two things that jumped out, number one was that and the credit card thing. I was like,
I don't know how I feel about that.
exactly.
I kind of like it, but I mean, I can see already that it'll have the knock-on effect of making credit scores matter more than what they do. You know, because if I'm like fucking Bank of America,
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a credit card.
Right. Right. Right.
If I can only charge 10% interest on it, little 18-year-old child who just got your first job is like, yeah, yeah, now give me your credit card, man.
Right.
But that's the hard part because like I don't give a fuck. Okay, I mean I have a perfect credit score. I use my credit card every single month just for the points. My Amazon loot crate. but I pay it off every single month.
Right.
I don't need my credit score. If my car blew up, I would go pay cash for a new one now. So, and it's just like, okay, doesn't affect me. But if I was 22
Right.
and I really needed to get a credit card going, or I actually do need that credit in order to cover like, a major purchase or something like that, I'm not going to be able to get it if they're only going to be able to top out interest rate at 10%. So,
Yeah, it's almost like you'd have to like apply for a personal loan or something like that.
well, maybe that's where they'll go.
Well, you're right. I mean, if you do that to basically like level off the field and say like, all right, look, this the range on here is our risk management. Like you said,
Yeah.
they that mitigates itself. You make your money on the fees, right? So
Oh,
that's
yeah. Well, that's where they make most of
right. Um, but that being said, like there is a component to this where I believe they said it was for a certain period. So I don't know. It
their money. What
was
do you mean a certain period?
like 1 to 2 years or something like
Oh,
that.
they would just cap it for one to
Yeah,
2 years.
something like that.
That's interesting.
And that actually made more sense. But also, there's this part of me that says, I don't know, man. I feel like you guys shouldn't be messing with this. This is
Kind of.
that I will. Okay, I'll make the point here because the person doesn't feel what they charge in the fees. That's not something that's reflected on them,
Hmm.
right?
No, your Crunchwrap Supreme is still 6.99. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you do still have the signs to say no credit card used for something under $5 or whatever. But
Which is a good policy, but
I,
you only find small businesses do that because they
they,
get got.
yeah, they get got. And I guess mm, the it is weird for me to see that kind of meddling.
From the Trump administration.
Well, just in general, just in terms of like, we're going to take a look at one industry. We're going to take a look at this. We're not going to look at banking in general because it's all bank tied, right? Um,
Yeah, it depends. Like it's not like Southwest Air. Well, like any credit card issuer is technically like a bank.
yeah,
So, but not all. Okay, I don't know how I want to say that. You know, uh, your Hilton Rewards card it's a bank, but it's not what you think of when banking.
no,
Yeah,
no, but if I think just in lieu of a more technical term, I think
yeah,
bank is what you have
I
to
think
use
so. Yeah,
because ultimately the transactions that go in and out of there
correct.
are banking. But yeah, so it's just within this one particular industry. There's a part of me that says, how do you have the authority to do that?
Well, they'll need Congress to do that. So that's the thing, and that's the thing that I was reading about because we were talking about that briefly on Monday. So I did read a little bit on that yesterday, and it was like that idea has been out there for a long time.
I
Um,
believe at least a few people started talking about that during the pandemic. So
I think so,
yeah,
yeah. And then the same thing's true with I know that like Elizabeth Warren has been banging on that for years. That might have been a Bernie Sanders thing too. You never know.
yeah, that
So,
dude's changed his tune a couple of times, man.
oh,
But
dude, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. He's a weatherman, so the little hammer and sickle, between north and south. Yeah,
yeah, but just point to me where the dollars are.
right. Yeah.
It's
But like so, and that anyway, I was reading on that, and that definitely requires congressional approval. He cannot do that by.
I did not think so. It was
He cannot do that by
executive
executive
order.
order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then they were finding out there's a lot of things that he probably shouldn't be able to do.
Well, here's
But he's kind of like, well, I'm speeding. You got to catch me.
you and I. Okay, so you and I talked about this the other day, and I sort of I gave a little bit more thought to the process, what it is that he's doing, what it is that's going on here, right? And it was just in this 1 week, I was just catching up, and it's just Wednesday. It's just Wednesday,
I
right?
know, man.
And you listen to if you listen to just like 1 week of squawking people, bitching about he did this, he did this, he did this, right? You cannot keep up with Monday's news on Tuesday,
No,
right?
it's too late. It's too late. It's
And
gone.
I realized exactly what he's doing. I was like, it finally makes sense now, right? We talked about it a little bit the other day. I was like, I get your strategy completely, right? The thing that right, is, and I think this is, you probably didn't look this up, you had your people do it, Just look up everything that's been done, right?
Hmm.
Look up every tool that I can possibly use
Yeah.
and tell me what they are. Now, there's a piece of this that with him, it's like, well, you got this, but I mean, it hasn't been used since 1870. He's like, no problem, no problem.
Let's try it out.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, I was like, okay, so this is where the business side comes in because you and I both know that a lot of times businesses, you're going to strike out when you go for the big score,
Oh
right?
yeah. No, it's about the long game. Yeah.
And that is death by a thousand paper cuts.
It
And
is.
so if you are doing things every single day, right? If you get 50%, 65%, 70% of what
Yeah.
you want, you're winning big
You're
time.
winning big. I mean, if he gets 30% of the things that he tries, he's doing fine. And that's how he like he moves so fast onto
Yeah.
something. If he hits a roadblock on something, he's like spinning plates on the sticks.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
so if this one's starting to fall, he'll spin that, but then he'll leave it alone for a little while.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, you're going to see that with Denmark here in Greenland. You know, they had a little meeting today, and well, we don't agree with each other. He's just okay. Spin that plate. We're going to put it over here. I'm going to go work on this for a little bit. I'll
Yeah.
come back to that. You know, and that's what he's going to do, man. Which is apparently how he's always run his businesses too. So you know, like there's, I mean, you can find it's hard to find people who are willing to like talk about him kind of candidly. So, but you can find them out there, you know, from like Trump Tower days and stuff like
Right.
that. And they're like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah, you know, because I mean that got all politicized right in the beginning with this fucking lawyer. What was that guy?
Oh yeah,
Cohen or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there was tons and tons of other people who worked for him for years, and you can find you have to dig for him a little bit, but you can find interviews from them from like before he was president,
Yeah.
and they'll talk about this, and then you watch that, and it's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, got it. I know exactly what he's doing. So,
And I mean, that's the component of it. I was like, all right, so in comparison to other presidents that we've had kind of come and go, the difference is there's not if a president had one big accomplishment or one big like failure, you hang that on him, right?
yeah, he's definitely moving too fast. He's got so many things, um, you know, going on or things that could work. I mean, strategically, he's got some things that are going to work really well unless they extremely explode in our face. So Putin might be the guy who goes back outside, gets his gun. You know? He might be that guy. It comes back into the bar ready to rock. You never know. So, and the same thing's true with the Chinese. Although I don't, I mean, the more that I see people panic about that, the less I think it's actually going to happen. So,
Here's the
I think
thing.
they're going to chill out, man. So,
Well, that's the trick. Is there's a there it just that moment of yes, you just let your enemies come and nibble on you, and we've been doing that for a long time.
yeah, but that also means they don't respect us.
That's correct.
And so I think, like, you know, because I watched this interview the other day with his I think it's his Commerce Secretary Lutnick, who's the
Mm.
guy who's making all the international deals. He's the
Oh, okay,
tariff czar
okay,
right now.
okay.
And he was telling me, like, okay, so the Chinese are absolutely willing to deal with us on a lot of things, but we had to demonstrate that we were serious first. So, and he said, but once we demonstrated that we were serious, they were the first ones to call us back. So, you know, it was like, okay, all right, I kind of see that, you
Yeah.
know. He was talking about how India tried to, like, you know, stall and try to get the Britain deal and then stall. And then he said, no, the shop is closed. That was 5 deals ago. You know? And so this is all Howard Lutnick doing this, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, oh my God, yeah. So, I mean, I bet you your boss loves you, buddy. You know?
No, no, no. That offer was for them.
Yeah.
So your new choices are 12%.
This is used. That's new.
That 10% is off the table.
Yeah, but he was talking about how some of those things went down. It was kind of interesting.
And if I have to come back again,
Yeah.
it's going to be 15%.
Yeah.
Now, don't give me no shit. Don't tell me you got to ask your wife first. You know?
This guy did one thing that was really good though that I didn't. He cleared up some that I didn't understand.
Which
Where
is?
does the money from the tariffs go?
That's a good question.
It goes to the Treasury. It goes directly to the Treasury, and it wipes out some of their accounts. So it literally meets debt and explodes it.
They eradicate each other.
He eradicates it. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
So yeah,
Well, there you go. All right.
yeah,
So that's just
exactly.
how that
Yeah,
ledger works.
because I
Okay.
mean, they asked him that's very specific. It's like, what you know, like, what do you do with this money? So it's like, does it go into accounts and things like that? It's like 100% goes to the treasury, and it zeroes out some of their outstanding accounts. So yeah, there's not a separate account that says, fucking foreign loot.
Right.
They can go and spend on something else now. No, it just goes immediately to the treasury. And so if the treasury has a balance of -$5 and this brings in $2, it's now -$3. So
Wow.
yeah, I was like, oh, that's way more simple than I
You
thought.
think it's too simple to actually be the truth?
Yeah, the guy who was interviewing kind of said the same thing. He's like, nope. He's like, you can go check it out.
Well, yeah. This is. Well, you and I have talked about this here too. This is like, how do we get ourselves in this position? And there's this the thing, like we talked about, is we did the world kind of a big favor because look, we didn't fight this war on our land, right?
No,
You guys did. So why don't we kind of give you guys a break? But that was 80 years ago.
well, I mean, okay, so like, I mean, the EU is only 25 years old, 30 years old now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I mean, half of it was occupied by Russians for till 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like, all right, fine, but I don't like. Okay, man, I'm not gonna let us off the hook for that one either. I mean, we've been really fucking bad
Yeah.
about certain things. I mean, 9/11 taught us, it's like don't go to Costco when you're mad. You're gonna buy all the things,
Yeah.
and the same thing's true. It's like
Mad or hungry?
because I mean, okay, so baloney nipples aside, Bill Clinton did get us into a surplus situation that he handed over to George W. Bush on a silver fucking platter. And then yeah, somebody hit our car in the parking lot.
Right. Right.
Oh, we just happened to be outside a Bass Pro Shop. So, and so that's on us. And then the same thing's true. Like the 2008 bailout's kind of on us too, because it was like, oh, fucking A, like
Yeah.
I'm going to be upside down in my house. So, we better bail out the banks and we better bail out GM, blah, blah, blah. So, and maybe those were good, maybe those are bad, but that definitely added to the thing. And then fucking COVID.
Yeah.
So that's the killer app right there. I mean, if you look at the debt, and I mean, he was on duty when that started. So, and I mean, he was the first batch of checks had his name on them.
Yep.
And then Joe Biden was like, "Oh, that was really popular. Let's do like 3 more rounds."
Yeah.
So, and then on top of it, it was like, "Wait, this is a great time to try all these social programs that we wanted to do for years." Because we've got basically the money machine is set to on.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, we'll send you, UBI. So, which you'll go spend on fucking Bitcoin, and DoorDash, rather than actually paying off. Well, actually, that's not true. Most Americans did actually take a look at that, and it's like, yeah, that's a great way to wipe out my credit card debt.
Right.
So, but that shit won't free. So
No.
that's kind of on us too, man. So, I mean, I hope people are just a little bit more vigilant about that now, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, you and I both do that, and there's a component. All right, I remember, again, I was a friend of mine, Venezuelan. She's like, I don't like this. It's like, why? She's like, this is going to cause inflation. I can tell you a thing or two about inflation.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
COVID?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I was like, look, I get it. I get it. You're right. You're right. I totally understand. But that being said, think about the financial consequences if people stop spending now, right? And that was part of the
yeah.
whole
That
thing.
was part of it. Yeah.
I get that. I get that entirely. But that you are trading one problem for another, right? And that's
You're picking your poison.
you are.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think we went too far with it.
We totally went too far with
We
it.
went too far with it.
Especially when we got to the point in time where bailing out businesses like little tiny mom and pop shops. Like it's like, okay, fine. Okay, so why do you have to close and Walmart is still open?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It was like, well, if you just let them both stay open or close both of them,
Right.
then, this
Right.
would probably work a little bit better. But no, we're just going to send everybody checks. It's like, okay.
And that.
And then, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, God dang, man, so many people got fucking lazy during COVID too. So,
What they thought it was it. They thought the time had come. They thought
right?
this was basically
Star Trek land.
yeah. Yeah.
We live in the age of abundance.
It just they looked at that placard in their kitchen and they saw it's like each to his ability, each to his need.
Needs, yeah.
And they thought it was there. Yeah, people were talking about it. I know California. I think they passed it in one place where they were doing like UBI and that kind of stuff.
I tried it.
Um,
It was like $50 a month. it's, it's
it's
all they can afford. You see that they're trying to give $1 million reparations in San Francisco. So
oh yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like it's like everything is like this, and then at the very bottom it says, yeah, there's no funding for this.
Purely decorative.
It's just a
So
list of requirements once there is funding.
absolutely ridiculous. But
But anyway,
yeah, no, I did see that. Um, and that's the uh, this was something that I saw out of Great Britain, um, because they are, as of right now,
this is fucked.
it's way fucked.
It's
Okay,
fucked.
so the components, they were talking about one of the things that they pivoted on. Here they were picking on. They were saying like youth unemployment rate is bad.
It's
Um,
like 30%.
well, here,
Oh no,
no, well they were
in
talking
Britain,
they were
it's
talking about
awful.
it here. Um,
Oh, it's not. There's not 30% here.
no, and in Britain it is.
Oh yeah.
It's really bad, as well as China. China is very much in trouble with that, which is also something they don't talk about. But in Britain, they were talking about this, and they were saying like we can't get kids to work.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have work for them,
No, they'd rather go on the dole.
which is insane to me.
Dude, that blows my mind. I mean, I okay, I don't like you're basically signing up for a lifetime of poverty, at that point in time. I mean, you're opting into it. So, I mean, we've seen people doing this in America for a long time, just with welfare benefits and things like that. But I mean, like, once we, like, okay, so not to talk about baloney nipples again, but as soon as he instituted the work requirement, people got found out real fast, and then there's a whole bunch of people who realize it's like, wait a minute, I can get way further ahead if I actually work.
Right, right.
Now like COVID, yeah, we've done some backsliding into that, but like, and I get a few students like this from sometimes they're horrified of having a job and the idea of somebody telling them what to do and where to be, and it's like, yeah, that's not a bug. That's a feature, and you're gonna have to learn how to do that. But if you don't, like I do all the time, oh, I want to start a small business because I don't want a boss. It's like, well, you're going to trade one boss for all the bosses
Right.
if you do that, kind of thing. But it's also like the other thing is like, well, I'm 22 and I want to get out and experience blah 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 and stuff like that. It's like you're 20 fucking two. Okay, I mean you got lots of time, bro. So now's the time to step on the gas because you can get out of the way with 4 hours of sleep at night, eat garbage, all right, and then work 16 hours a day. And if you do that for a couple of years, where you're at the point in time where you have no debt, and you can actually put a decent down payment on a house by the time you're 27, 28, you're going to be living large if you tack on 10 more years onto that. That's what I tell my students all the time. It's like push really, really, really fucking hard to save up $100,000 as fast as possible. So you can do it at fucking Walmart. It might take you 4 or 5 years. So, but at the same point in time, if you actually show up, to a mortgage broker with a $50,000 down payment, you're going to get a house.
I got you there. I mean, the hard part is, of course, you're talking to people. I was that young once. I mean, so
So was I.
uh,
I was also broke.
I mean, what I'm talking about here is you're everything that you're saying is sound, and you're absolutely right. But it is very difficult to do that at that age. There's just
It
something
is.
the brain just doesn't want to do that. It's not.
The brain it doesn't want to do that, but it also it feels like it can't. And so the best thing you can do in that situation is show them peers who have done that. So people who
Oh
are in
yeah,
your boat,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
talk to them one to one and say like, because I mean they'll come to me and they'll ask me for financial advice, and I'm like, guys, I'm like 30 years older than you now. Okay,
Right,
so my financial
right.
situation is way fucking different, but. If I could rewind the clock, this is what I would do. And if any of that sounds difficult, that guy right over there is doing it right now. So go talk to him. All right, so because
Right.
he's got it figured
Right.
out. So and that helps more than anything else. Just seeing other people be successful in situations like that. Um,
Well, and that is, I mean, that is one of the things that I think people have, we've given really mixed messages about this in the past, I would say 10, 15 years, where there really used to be an angle of, wow, that guy's successful. I'm going to hang around him a little bit and pick his brain about everything that he can do, right?
mhm.
Because it's not necessarily that I want to, well, he's making these tires. I want to make his tires but white, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
not ripping off what he's doing. I want
Right.
to do this for my own, gig. But there is also sort of a blowback on oh, so what do you know? It's like, oh, why
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's true. I've seen that.
which is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen
the first thing it's the first thing to learn about doing something successful is watch someone successful. And sometimes,
that.
look, sometimes they can't even say. It's like, hey, I was here. I showed up when the plant opened.
Yeah, I got this, and it just happened to be the right place, right time, blah blah blah. Yeah.
And that's sort of the rough part here. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you are giving absolutely good advice, but I mean, it is tough to get people to look at that there. And on top of that, too, like they're going through a different world right now. They really are. It's not. I don't want to sit there and say like our time was a little bit more simple, but I think it was. I
It
think
might have been. Um, I don't know. It had its own complications.
of course,
So,
of course,
and I think like a lot of times, like, folks who are like our age now, you look back and you see like, the kids are fucking this up kind of like this.
yeah,
So, but then what you don't think about is all the things that you were dealing with that they don't deal with anymore.
yes,
And so it's not just like it's not like they're fucking this up and they're doing that. It's like they're fucking this up, but they're not doing it. So it's not an and but, it's an or
right,
kind of thing.
right,
And so, because like I see that so there's been all this doom and gloom on the internet lately, and I follow the three guys who basically publish on this pretty regularly, about like, fucking phone addiction and stuff like that.
oh yeah, yeah,
And oh my God, there was like one of the guys, he's pretty militant about it. And I respect him because he was one of the guys who started bringing this up first.
yeah,
But he's gotten to the point in time where it's just like, oh, fucking take all the phones away, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that doesn't prepare them for a bit. I mean, that's the whole thing about like, not partying before you go to college. You know?
yeah. Okay, yeah,
I mean, all the kids will eventually turn 18. And if they're not in a position where they're, like prepared to actually have this in their life, and then you introduce it later, it's almost like, not having your kid being exposed to chicken pox, kind of thing. So,
it's the classic argument of maybe let your kid have a beer or two.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or at least talk to them about beer from time
yeah,
to time. But then, yeah, it's just, it's like, okay, so, but I can already see how they're adapting to it already.
yeah,
Okay, they have things called phone jail, and they also have, fucking phone free days. And then they also have, like, well, I don't need 10 different apps. It's like I need one that does messages and one that does photos.
yeah,
It's like, well, that's not how you and I did. We had to do all the things. And so,
yeah,
they'll find
yeah.
ways to adapt. And that was it. That was a quote that I saw the other day that was like, if something, what was it? It was like, your baseline is stuff that you learn about from the age about 5 to 15.
Yeah,
Okay. And then from 15 to 30, that's new shit. That's cool. So, but then anything that you learn about after 30, it's like, well, we used to do it better.
Patrick, I make no misconceptions about saying that there are a few things that I do say were better, right? And that's all pretty much social stuff. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
and it's only in terms of I have a hard time reconciling how all I can speak to is how much of my own development came from independence. So basically,
Yeah.
the true lack of being monitored, right?
Yeah.
And I can say that a lot of my entire personality comes into that. And uh, that being said, I don't think kids get as many chances at that, and I think there's a multitude of reasons for it. Um,
Yeah. It's amazing that your parents.
Well, it is parents is kind of a knock-on effect. I mean, the truth of the matter is, look, the parents are victims of the media, and they are.
Yeah.
They have no choice on it, right? When you're presented, again, we've gone through the numbers here. It's like you will not get shot at school. You will not. It's basic. It's lightning. It's that kind of stuff. I mean, it happens. It happens, right? But
Well, it's one of those like tail risk things where there's like 0.0001% chance of happening, but if it does, it's really fucking bad.
that's correct.
Yeah.
But that being the case, all you can do is prepare for it and say, like, all right, well, things are as best as they can be.
Right.
I can't sit here at work all day and just keep stressing it
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
and keep thinking that basically my kids are dodging fire on the way to school. It's like
right.
it's not that. Same thing goes with your uh, uh, if you're in a protected group, so to speak, you're fine. You're actually not under any greater risk. The cops are actually nicer to you, and the data bears that out.
Yeah, I've seen that data.
There are no groups in this country that are under assault, right? That kind of thing that people like to punch up here, where they want people to feel in constant danger here. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that's been taking its toll on parents because yeah, they ignore the reality of the situation here and they take it as like, oh no, you can't go to the park.
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah.
And that is
You can't
something.
eat unwrapped candy.
See, that's why we were right in the middle of that.
We were right in the middle
right
of that.
middle
You
of
put
that.
razor blades in your fucking apples.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
really,
It's.
yeah.
I mean, the same thing goes with. It only took one guy to fuck up hitchhiking.
It's just one guy. Yeah. And that whole culture died. Yep.
It was pretty common before, but yeah, it only
It
took.
was considered courteous. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. And it was like, oh, yeah, I can, rather than listen to the radio, I'll have someone to talk to on my commute. Yeah. So
So I mean, yeah, there are things that I can look back and say,
I
like, all
never
right, let's.
hitchhiked. I've never done that. Have you ever hitchhiked?
Okay, so I've been given a ride.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, like by somebody that like asked, it's like, do you need? Are you going somewhere?
Oh, okay. I've never had that. So I guess that's close. But you weren't out there like,
Nope,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I never solicited a ride, but there was, yeah, I think there was, and the other thing was, it was somebody that I kind of like tangentially knew anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
friend of
that's
a
different.
friend.
Yeah, that's different.
So yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would though.
What, actually hitchhike? No, I wouldn't.
I mean, I might.
How about pick up a hitchhiker?
I've done it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I've
yeah.
never done that. So I'm sorry, man. They all look like rah, 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 rah,
It was.
It's like my car's gonna stink.
Well, it was raining. That was
Oh,
why
okay.
I did it. Yeah, and somebody. Yeah, and they just kind of looking. So I was like, so are you around here? It's like it's raining. Do you want me? It's like yeah, come on.
Yeah, okay.
But that you got to remember, man. This comes from years and years and years of like running those roads, and
Oh, that's true.
so
So
it's
when the weirdos, you know a guy doesn't belong. So
or somebody that just got caught in the weather,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something like that. It
yeah.
was like okay, well,
Well, no, you can pick out the guys that are like, no, you don't belong here, man. Like
right.
you see those every now and then, and it's like you're not part of the local scenery, man. So yeah.
No, you're correct. I don't think that humans inherently have a spidey sense, but I mean there is something to it just feels off.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So my complaints aren't really about tech. The only thing are just I always generally appreciate. I really do. Even when I look at the problem and say the problem is excess or too much easy access, that's a that's a difficulty of plenty.
Well, you've talked about that for years, having too many choices at the grocery store. So kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, there's some merit behind that, man. You know, yeah, I still remember being fairly brand picky as a kid, but sometimes you just couldn't afford it. So, there were
Yeah.
just, yeah, I mean, you got the bottom shelf cereal in the bag, or, like the fucking soda that said soda, yeah, cola,
White cans.
white cans, black label.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. you know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's things that I think they play well in the news because they kind of go towards that, razor blades and the apples kind of thing,
Well,
that just kind of like, I mean, it's when you see articles like that, they're obviously not targeted towards the kids.
not at all. No,
Right. And
no.
so, I do approach some of that stuff with a bit of skepticism, especially when I see, like you were talking about X the other day, and how do you decide which academics, blah, 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 to pull from. And
Yeah,
so, like, and I mean, I'm in the business sort of. And so when I see a whole bunch of guys who are from Columbia and Yale
yeah.
putting together, like, oh my God, the kids are fucking fucked, it's kind of like, what the fuck are you you teaching a top like 1% school? Okay, you cannot tell me that you have a good grasp on this one unless you get your ass down to community college in fucking Southie for a little while. You're not gonna tell me that the kids there are doing just as bad. They're not. Okay, they're the ones who vote for Donald Trump. Yours don't.
Yours are too wealthy to vote
Yours
for
are
Donald
way
Trump.
too wealthy
Yeah.
and way too up their own asses to be
Well,
able to do that.
that's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the that's the common complaint here, and it's absolutely true. Is the point where you say like, okay, um, I'm not wealthy enough to have your political views because I have to live next to
Luxury
where the
believes.
crime
Yeah,
is.
exactly. I have to live next door to these, so yeah.
Whatever they ask these
More
people,
cops is better.
way
Way
better,
better.
way
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
And say like
yeah. Less urine in the train station. Way better.
less urine in the train station as a comes down to it says we got to make some choices. Like, so should they empty the trash cans in the park or more cops?
More cops. Yeah.
If the cops aren't busy, they can empty the trash cans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's that simple. Yeah, it's weird. Fuck it. I mean, if
No, no,
those are the
no.
trades off, but I mean, yeah, the weird thing about it is they constantly. I mean, one of the things they'll do, and I think a lot of this, of course, is you're asking assholes that are paid agitators. But the thing is, like, okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, if you want illegals in this country, will you host one in your house?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So sometimes don't threaten people with a good time because they might take you up on it. Like those two. Like what was that? That was in the Brown shooting. What was the other one where they had taken in that guy, that wealthy couple in Portland?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
sometimes they'll take you up on
You asked me about hitchhiking.
that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you made a movie about that. It's a
So,
TV series. It's on after Highlander.
well, this is the same thing where okay, I'm not going to say the name. You're going to know who I'm talking about here, right? Is just going with the assumption that the people from other countries, even if they're nice, right, came from the same environment that you did and haven't followed the same rules.
Okay.
Um, we knew a guy that from the Philippines,
Oh, yeah.
and when you told me the story of what he had to do as a result of the service,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and you just say, I don't know how to reconcile that. You come from a different place and time,
Yeah, it's definitely a different thing. Yeah.
right?
So war crime. The definition of war crime was different back then.
Who's watching?
Who's watching?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
can you
yeah.
prove it? I
Can you
mean,
prove it? Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of the piece of it, right? So when you're talking about people from other countries and stuff, don't assume that they're like you, that they are,
Yeah, yeah.
because again, so this is the thing that just doesn't surprise me at all in terms of like, yes, they're getting mad at this, like you're saying that this fraud is stuff is it's coming from a place of racism. It's like, well, actually, no, it's coming from a place of this community. Yes, they happen to be this color, but they also do come from the scam capital of the world.
Yeah.
And if you just go ahead and go into any Google, Raw, wherever, right? When you type in Somalian, the next word is usually going to be pirates. That is the
Yeah, no, I understand that, man. But I mean, from the standpoint of somebody who's trying, I mean, that's just a rhetorical, like, that's a big stick in the toolbox. And so, I mean, the thing is they've hit everybody with it so many times that nobody pays attention to it
what are
anymore.
you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so you called me a racist. Oh, okay, now what?
Well, I mean, this is my whole argument when it comes
Prove it.
when it comes to ICE right now is that you see these videos of basically people who, under any other circumstance, you look at this, you look at the letter of the law and say, like, you can arrest that guy right now, right?
Yeah,
And to me, I'm like, do it, because here's the thing: is you being nice to them, they are still calling you all this stuff.
yeah. I mean, so like they did put out a thing yesterday. We said it's okay if people cuss at you, yell at you,
Yeah, of
and
course.
flip you off. And it's like, okay, at least we clarified that. All right. So I mean, but the other thing that I was reading about the other day was like this is a problem that's unique to just a couple places because the local cops will not actually because other like here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
All right, so we have an ICE detention facility here in Village 7. You didn't know it was there, did you?
Mm,
Yeah, that's because it's quiet. And guess what? If the ICE guys identify someone that they need to go get, the cops like help them out, and then they go and they just get the guy quietly and bring him to the detention facility. So they're not doing this thing where nobody's helping them, so they have to roll around as squads, knocking door to door, which is fucking stupid. But I understand why they're doing it. Okay, it's just dumb, and especially when you're rolling around in camos with fucking ARs strapped on, like
right,
it's kind of
right,
like okay, so this isn't actually helping the visuals here.
right.
And then when you do stupid things like you actually grab a guy who isn't American and won't let him get his fucking ID, and then like well, okay, so he's going to be on TikTok in about 5 minutes. So but a lot of it has to do with like local cops, all right, and
Yeah,
and so like they were talking to some of the Minneapolis guys, and they're like, look, man, I mean, if we actually go to these things, we're going to get involved now.
yeah.
So it's almost like everybody just needs to take a little fucking time out for a minute, so and then get these like law enforcement's kind of like you know, rather than flood the whole thing with like 1,500 agents, send like 5 teams in there and really work with the local cops and just do it.
Yeah, but they can't.
Yeah, I know that's the problem.
They
So
can't.
yeah,
Their local governments have
I know.
disallowed, and that's. I mean, that's the one of the big questions I think
Yeah,
needs to be answered. Is
but it does need to be answered. But still, the local cops still have jurisdiction. They're still a sovereign city. Okay. So I mean, that needs to be adjudicated on that level. If the mayor is telling the police chief, "Don't fucking do this," that guy needs to be voted out of office. So, and that guy's in a like, I can't vote for him or against him. So, and so it's really bad, like kind of catch 22. But it's not really a catch 22. It's just a logjam. It's bad. So
it is well, and the weird thing about it is, yes, I do know. Like they've been showing this, recently, and like you're talking about when it comes to jurisdiction, you know what? ICE has actually more rights than you
they
think.
do. They have quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they need to go in there and get a guy, they have the authority to do so. It's just a
Right.
question of, like I talked about, well, this hasn't been used since 1870, and this is about slavery. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever,
That's
right,
okay. Yeah.
right. Same thing goes with this here is like, yeah, but you don't normally have to do this. So, what needs to be negotiated in order to make this happen, smoothly? But given the look, given the whole fact that the concept, nobody. All right, I'm just gonna say it this way: most people actually, to this day, even with this going on, have no idea what a sanctuary city actually is. Right?
No, they don't.
They have no idea what it actually is. They have no idea what it's all about. And it just means that they're not. They're not going to assist the police, the ICE guys, in what they're doing, and also it means that they're not going to detain those people to give over to the ICE guys. So the point, and this is the point that I would make here, is like, well, actually, you do have to send 2,000 guys. Why? Because you let 1,300 of these fuckers go
Yeah. Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the community. If you're not going to round them up, right? Somebody has to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like it's tough, because I mean, like you don't see you don't like seeing blue team versus blue team on some of this stuff,
No,
man,
of course not.
And I mean, I guarantee you that there's a whole bunch of cops in Minneapolis who are just as frustrated with this as the ICE guys are.
100%.
So yeah,
Yes.
and so I mean, but ultimately, again, it's like, all right, fine, that like I have no power here, Gandalf.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
so I'm just a bloody observer on this one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the best thing you can do is actually make sure that it just doesn't seep its way into our community.
Here?
Yeah,
No.
I don't think it would. I don't think it would. You know, like especially like I mean, our sheriff is kind of like Yosemite Sam. So I like. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
Hispanic version of him, but you know,
that's fine.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Well, and this is it's weird. I saw I where did I see this? Somebody I got I don't know how this got popped up, and then I started following this. There's a person who is from Colorado,
Mhm.
and they collect like social media, like TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff of people that moved to Colorado
Oh,
and don't like it.
oh, I think I saw one or two of those.
Yeah. So I started following this, and now I'm watching this here, and I'm always trying to figure out, I'm like, what part of Colorado did you move to?
Yeah, there was a purple-haired girl who was saying that she didn't feel welcomed here. So, and I
Was
was like,
this was this the person who was saying like, yeah, they'll be like, oh hey, sorry, or like when you hold
something
open a
like,
door
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. Yeah, you saw
yeah,
this?
yeah. I saw
Okay,
that one.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, you didn't move to Boulder, did you? You
Well,
know.
well, the other
So,
part is do you expect people to strike up a conversation with you every time they hold a door?
yeah, it's true.
I will say this in here in Colorado, I would argue most people are pretty polite.
Oh, people here are ridiculously polite.
Yeah,
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 I mean, there's other parts of the United States that are much shittier in terms of attitude than here. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
most of them are up in that corner up there. Yeah. Although I was pleasantly surprised. People were very nice to me in Boston. So, yeah, I was very, very surprised.
Well, I'll tell you, it's just we can speak to this in detail here. As some of the most helpful, friendliest people were in
In New York
Manhattan,
City, yeah, exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
no matter what time of day it was. Now, that being said, there were also people who would rip you the fuck off.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, you have a greater pool, but yeah, I generally find most Colorado people to be pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, and just about everywhere in the state, too. There's not like this, holdout of assholes, somewhere. At least not that one that I've discovered.
or places where we hang out.
Or places where we hang out. So I don't know, man. When I was living in rural Nebraska, there were a couple of places where if you weren't local, you were shit. So
That's a weird
but
thing.
that's a small town thing,
Yeah,
man. That's a small town thing. They're nice to you if you visit, but if you plan on staying for a little while,
yeah,
you're gonna wear out your welcome. So yeah.
yeah. Well, I guess you saw that, but yeah, I was just I'm watching this and I'm seeing people like, what is your expectation? What do you want from us?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I did see a couple of those, and I think I know which channel you're talking about. He's just doing shorts. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
just collect people who came here
right.
and for some reason have some gripe about. Usually, it's about the people. Like they don't show. I haven't come across any where it's like, they don't have a Sephora over here.
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
nothing like that.
Sprouts is on the other side.
But
So,
like they have one, but it's
it's
far.
far.
It's nothing. It's nothing like that. But
Don't have enough bike lanes.
we actually do now.
I know we do, man. They're spawning all over town. So actually, they're making the town a little bit better.
I agree.
Yeah. I noticed that on Barnes over here when they took out the not Barnes, Oro Blanco, where they took
Yeah,
out the center lane. Oh
yeah.
my God, that's so much better.
Isn't it?
It totally is, man.
Doesn't the road actually seem 4 times bigger
It
now?
seems bigger, and people actually stop and wait if you have to turn left. It's like we always were supposed to do that, man.
Right.
You know,
Again, like
just a little bit of traffic engineering. All of a sudden, people are like, wait a minute, we can eat with silverware.
yeah. Well, this is the kind of stuff that yeah, people will look back on it and be like, it was better when I was younger. It's like, no, it wasn't.
No,
There wasn't even a sign there. That was just like the stop was just implied, right?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so I will give that. I mean, all the roads in town are way better than they were when we were kids.
Considerably.
Dude, I remember so many times going behind the farm crest over there for the fucking every time you were like driving through that, and if it was just raining a little bit, you're literally taking your life in your hands. So,
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember going like, the main drag there along Academy where it splits off into two different things. That was like the cool part of town. But then like you realize after a little while how stupid it is
It's awful.
because you've got to turn if you want to get into either one of those things, you're going to be stopping it in either the left lane or the right lane. So it was like that was a really dumb idea. The town was just full of them, and now they're all like slowly going away.
That is correct, and I mean it's not quite the run the bulldozer indiscriminately solution that we all wanted, but there's also
Right.
look, there are plenty of cities and towns that got to the size that we are that wouldn't do a union overpass. That wouldn't
Yeah,
do, you know what I'm talking
dude.
about?
I mean, we're top. We're I think we broke top 40. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, a
I
while
think
ago.
we. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
a
yeah,
while ago. Well,
dude. That's. I mean, yeah. The other day you were talking about the population of Greenland. That's like the population of Falcon.
that's correct. But when it comes down to it, look, so ultimately, so just to get back to Greenland, look, it's not.
Oh.
There's no military stuff or anything. It's just going to be a buyout. It's going to be some kind of financial agreement, right?
I honestly, I think they're just going to take over defense of it. I mean, it won't become. They're not going to raise the American flag in Greenland.
No,
No, they're not going to do that. I mean, I don't even think the Trump population could actually do a new Trail of Tears.
I don't think he'd want
I don't
to.
think he wants to, but I mean, they're gonna definitely paint it like that. But I mean, really, when it comes down to it, we already have Thule Air Force Base there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eighth, but
Hey, my dad was there.
yeah, my dad went there once. He said he'd never go back. So,
I, Dad said something similar.
yeah,
He's
Jeff. Everybody that I know has had to go there said the same thing.
well, I don't think he said it in words. It was just like, I've been there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just eat some chips.
I
This
think
Dr. Pepper.
I think I'll have four Andes mints tonight.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if we have an Ayatollah next Sunday.
Well, okay. I will give it. I'll give it one last check before the night's out. I'll see if Ayatollah strung up.
Drawn and quartered.
Uh, let's see. Breaking Danish military Hercules land in Greenland.
You drop off your bobsleds, huh?
I do not see Ayatollah pieces.
All right, we'll wait for Monday.
To reassemble that when it gets to Russia. Yeah.
Do not disassemble.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm Pat.
Thanks, Pat. I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.